Hey there team, and welcome to Tol Falas. Now Tol Falas is one of my favourite maps, I would say. It definitely does give the defenders a lot of opportunity, but they have to use said opportunity, of course. Playing as Angmar today, and what I believe, let's make sure of that before I lie to you, is a good versus... Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, I think we got good versus evil siege going on here. Maybe we're ruining it with this last... No. Yeah, I think we got good versus evil siege. Nice. So, we'll zoom through my allies' army, who is Razorblade, 25. So he's got his Blackwatch Legion there, Orc Fellers. Up at the front, he's got his Angmar Marauders, double Angmar Marauders, an armor upgrade for either of those. I cannot tell, actually. I zoomed in knowing that I don't know what they look like, so I don't know what I expected. Then 3, he's got another unit behind them. Angmar Halberdiers, 2 of those. Snaga Archers, Goblin Trackers, and Goblin Trackers. Some more Angmar Halberds and Orc Fellers. Blackguard there, and Hammerguard. No armor upgrade for the poor Hammerguard, though. But I like that look of them anyway. Guardians of Cardolan and the Trolls of Gundabad. Myself, of course, as I always do when I'm in this position on Tol Falas, I split my army right down the... Well, not really right down the middle, most of it goes to the east, but I've got a part of it going to the west, with these armor upgraded Witch Realm Pikes, some Hammerguard and Blackguard there, or sorry, Blackwatch Legion, Snaga Stalkers and Barrow Wights and the Goblin Trackers. In the middle, I've actually got some Inquisitors today, which was quite strange for me. Again, bringing cavalry to a siege, but I've been trying to experiment a bit with it, get a little bit more funky. Then Blackguard there, Barrow Wights, Snaga Stalkers, Scourge Raiders armor upgraded, of course, Guardians armors upgraded, Angmar Marauders there, couldn't afford to give them an armor upgrade, Witch Realm Pikes, and the Goblin Trackers. So yeah, I kind of, because we had 2 Angmar armies, I decided to go really quite a bit more exceptional with my forces, because I suspected that Razorblade was going to go for a bit more of a horde focus. Jev is to my right, and he's got the Misty Mountains, so he's got his heavy Goblin Infantry, Black Orcs of the Mountains, the Cave Troll Drummers there, Goblin Archers and Crossbowmen, Halberdiers, Mountain Orc Host, Black Orcs of the Mountain, Infantry there, and Mountain Orc Host again, Drake Broodlings with the Bolgs Champions. So again, Bolgs Champions being a charging warg, he's going to have to make sure he gets some opportunities with that. And then Mordor, led by Ordo Malleus here, he's got his Orc Fodder out front, Halberds behind, Minas Morgul Chosen and Orc Maulers there, armor upgraded. No, poor boys are just going in their rags. Then Blackguard of Barad-dûr, Orc Javies, Blackguard of Barad-dûr again, Temple Guard, Temple Executioners, no armor upgrade for the boys today. Orc Archers, Olokai, and some Saurons well at the back. No Nazgul. Oh, there are Nazgul too. Then we have our Isengard force by Allfather. So he's got his crossbowmen, double crossbows, Urukai infantry, Urukai archers, Snaga skirmishers there, Lurtz hunting pack. That's the... we've got a grace. Let's stick at 1 times speed, we should be fine. Spearguard, Guards of Orthanc, Nazhai, and the Berserkers. At the back, of course, cannot receive an armor upgrade. Not been able to receive an armor upgrade for an entire year, but I still keep stating it just for my own benefit. The first of our adversaries today is MSQ2, played by Mirkwood. So he's got his Wardens of Amon-Lank, Woodland Realm Patrol, Elders of the Elven King. Behind them today, armor upgraded Elven King Palace Guard and Hiri Lang, which again, armor upgraded. More Hiri Lang, which I think if I'm going to give an armor upgrade to something in Mirkwood's roster, it will be the Hiri Lang, I'd say. Those 200 swordsmen, giving them an armor upgrade really beefs them out. Sendar of the Girdle there, and the Ents too. Anything else coming down this road? There are. Yep, Hiri Oth there, Woodland Realm Protectors, Hiri Peng, and that looks like that. Moving up here though, Woodland Realm Patrol, Greenwood Rangers, Greenwood Watchers, Woodland Realm Patrol, Elders of the Elven King, and the Wardens of Amon-Lank. Coming on toward their ally here is Sharkan, so he's got Cardolan, so he's got his Minheriath Spears. Oh gosh, a nice blob of Minheriath Spearmen, and lots of Minheriath Spears and Sharpshooters there. Some Tharbad Warhammers we're spotting. The Dunedain Captains. Oh, some mercenary guildsmen there. Trebuchet team. Oh, those Dunedain captains, I wonder if they've received an armor upgrade today. Surely they have. They have good stuff. Nice. Don't have to be too upset. Minotaur Roman gatekeepers there with an armor upgrade as well, so they're very beefy in melee after that, and if we try to counter shoot them or anything, it will be very painful for us. Dunedain commanders there as well. They look like they've received an armor upgrade too. And the final ally that they have is Keller, playing as the Dwarves of Erebor. So he's got his Axe Guard of Erebor there. Axe Throwers, Ironfoot Axe Throwers. We've got the Wardens of Tyr and Gorthad too. We didn't spot them. Further toward the right, though, we have the more Axe Guard of Erebor, Ironfoot Spears, and Ironfoot Pikes. Then in the pass here is some Ironfoot Spears, Ironfoot Pikes, and more Ironfoot Pikes. Anything that we're missing? Probably. Oh, yep, further in the back here, some Highborns of Erebor, Dragon Slayers, Obsidian Guard, and Highborns. And then the Erebor Legionnaires. So he's got his Uber Elites and his, well, damn good Legionnaires in the back there. So it does look like the Dwarves are going to be holding this passageway. I think there might already be. Yeah, there's some stuff up here. Crossbows, Blacklock Engineers, and more crossbows. So I usually think this is a good idea for the Dwarves to hold this very tight choke point in what I generally refer to as Death Valley. And, you know, we're going to have to rely on Razorblade here to be quite patient. Razorblade was a very new player at this point, so we were having to sort of just chat to him and explain, oh, just hold back. You know, you've got a pretty chilled out position, and you were also playing as Angmar, which is to me and to most people, I would say Angmar is a very strong rush faction. So that doesn't mean that you have to get stuck in right away, but that means that when you get stuck in, you generally have to get stuck in pretty damn hard. You can't really trickle in and just wear down the enemy as you can with a lot of Western Kingdoms of Men, and also with many of the Orcish factions. You can kind of just set up nicely, and or well, you can keep just sort of slamming units into the front line, and little by little you'll chop through their forces. No, with Angmar, it's really an all or nothing sort of assault. You know, once you get stuck in, you've just got to go. Let's see, I think I've fed a little bit more of my force over here. I think I've given him just a few more troops to make sure that that when we do come through here, we're going to come through very hard, and it also gives us a little bit more manpower to throw away if we do want to send in an opening salvo or two. And I'm just sending over everything I've got here. Let's stay with a lot of people usually will not do a grace period on Tol Falas, just because the attackers really do have to cover quite a lot of ground before they could even really make it to fighting one of the defenders. I can see the thinking behind that. I generally do like to have a bit of a grace period, just a short few minutes. Just gives the defender, make sure that the defenders are all going to get to where they need to be, because if we had brought a, you know, oh wow, I really like that 41999. That's really cool. Just one frame off. And yeah, so had we, say, brought quite a few cavalry units, like, what, even with what we've got, the Bulls Champions and the Witch Realm Inquisitors, like, we could have been slamming MSQ. Now MSQ is a pretty veteran player, so he most certainly would have been prepared for that, and he would have made us pay for it. And he's brought his Sindar just to keep himself safe anyway, so if we did try and come at him, it would have really been my Witch Realm Inquisitors that would have had to deal with those boys. So, Goblin Infantry out front. The enemy do have quite a lot of cavalry. Saying that, no, only really 2 units, which is kind of what you'd expect from Tol Falas. You can get a lot of good work done with Cav on the defense. Yeah, Razorblade was getting a little bit too deep in, and we had to call him back. Just, you know, hold your horses. Wait until we're ready. You know, you really, when you're coming through Death Valley, it is much more of an all or nothing sort of assault. I've said that a few times now, but it's when you do get stuck and you really have to go, and we can't really risk him going for it right now. You've got to whittle them down here, pull some attention away maybe, or just, it takes so much longer to assault across this area, unless you're wanting to just push across all 3 bridges and the land bridge at the same time, which I've never really seen that done effectively. I think to do that properly, you would really need a lot of coordination, which is not something that you are ever really going to be able to achieve in a standard, just, you know, muck-about lobby fight. You know, I think if we had planned this out more and we were in a TeamSpeak channel with each other, then yes, most certainly you can get something like that done. I'm just grabbing some pictures just in case I don't end up getting a shot later. The Sindar, oh, the Sindar are coming. He's thinking about it anyway. Order Malleus is leading the way with his Orc fodder. Now, Orc fodder, of course, are spearmen, but they're not the best. And if those Ents get stuck in, the Orc fodder will not stand a chance. More on halberds with their AP will hurt them, but I'd really love to see some Orc fellers up here. Well, the Nazgul are lurking, though, so the Nazgul would slice through some Ents if they were given the chance. Well, we got some Cardolan forces shuffling. Yeah, what have they got on the hillside? Menheriath sharpshooters, a few of them sort of caught up there on the stone, unfortunately, but they'll make their way up. Yeah, definitely don't want to lurch forward, because if he comes too far forward, he exposes himself to being shot from the back here. Oh, yeah, you guys don't see that anyway. Steam messages just popping up. You get exposed to shots from the back up there, and then possibly us firing at you from the side here. So he doesn't want to get his sharpshooters shot up right now. Just keep them back. Drake Broodlings, we've seen them get used quite a lot on Tol Falas quite well, especially when you're pushing through that the top of the land bridge there. When things get quite messy, they can come in to throw some people around. Barrow Whites just moving on forward. I don't really want to be running them. Of course, I've given them a melee upgrade, bumps up their attack value from 1 to 2, which I think is always very useful. But no, you're never really going to be relying on them to do too much damage, but that's not what their purpose is. Still, these Ents are coming on forward with the Sindar. And the... oh, yeah, the Orc fodder don't want any of that. They definitely don't want to mix it up with the Ents. But the Mordor halberds have arrived now. But the Mordor halberds, I would be wanting to shoot them if I was an archer. Yeah, and that is exactly what is happening. And these Hiri Peng are going to be mincing through those guys. The Ents, yeah, the Nazgul are coming on forward now to slice their way through the Ents, but that Treb is very scary for the Nazgul. If you were able to get a shot just into one of them, even if you killed off 2 Nazgul with a trebuchet ball, I would say that's a very worthy hit. But still, he needs something to counter these Ents, and the AP strikes from the ghostly swords of the Nazgul will slice through these Ents without too much difficulty, as I say. It's very early usage of them. They're moving in pretty hard now. They don't really want to distance themselves, and more Orc fodder are coming on up now. Order Malleus is sending some arrows downrange. Even with this armor upgrade, the Hiri Peng are not too beefy. They're definitely not built to be shot at. They really do prefer to kill the enemy before the enemy has a chance to shoot at them. Ironfoot crossbows set up here. Let's say we don't actually want the Ironfoot crossbows hitting anything in our army. Apart from maybe the Snaga and the Goblin Trackers. That's why I've got my Goblin Trackers up here. I am going to be trying to move them on forward and just send some arrows at them. Hopefully bait out a crossbow volley or 2, or if not, then just do some damage to the front line. But up against a nice solid Dwarven front, they're probably not going to do too much. The Ents are getting away there, but as I say, some of these back end Ents have really taken some damage. As Ordo Malleus comes forward, and he actually takes this, he takes the top of this slope before the enemy have actually formed up properly. You know, usually they like to hold you sort of right at the top here. Maybe this is, but maybe they didn't expect the aggression from Ordo Malleus. We definitely didn't expect this aggression. But with the Nazgul at the front, it is working out okay. And that Treb is still not opening up. So as I say, it's probably maybe, this is controlled by Sharkan. He's got a lot to look at. But if you see an opportunity for your ally to use a special weapon, then yeah, you've really got to make sure, like, hey mate, you know, try and get this done. But yeah, we were really chuffed with how much ground Ordo Malleus had taken here, but we just weren't in a great position to reinforce him. Do I have anything sprinting on over? Yeah, you are seeing some little green blobs. Ah, yeah, I've got my Witch Realm Inquisitors. They were the only unit that was fast enough to get over here. But the Olakai, and this is, as I say, this is Ordo Malleus' entire force just coming screaming forward now. That's quite a nice little shot. Let's maybe perch ourselves here and just see if we can get a nice look at the next trebuchet volley. That might be cool. Come on. Is it coming? I don't know if it's coming. No. But yeah, oh, good hits though. Yeah, there's a lot of damage taken. Just to some orcs though, actually. These are the red capes of the sun, not the sun, sorry, the Sauron's Will. And of course, Temple Guard too. So yeah, Ordo Malleus is coming in hot here with his entire force. He's going to be taking up a lot of fire. Woodland Realm Patrol giving us their fire arrows. Blackguard of Barad-dûr hopefully just breaking through these wood elves. But all the while, he's going to be getting some good kills in melee here, but he needs some support because we need to be flooding on in. Now this is really where I should probably come through in force on these bridges now. Whereas the Allfather is kind of doing that. Yeah, I've got a lot, like, I could be coming across with my Barrow-wights. I could be coming across with everything, really. But no, I think I was much preferring the land bridge. I will always favour the land bridge rather than coming across the bridges, just because of how effective fire down on the bridges can be from that hilltop. And I really just wanted to come in through there instead. Good fire there from the catapult. Those Blackguard of Barad-dûr running. Actually, sorry, no, that wasn't the catapult. That was just the fire arrows from the Woodland Realm, or the Woodland Realm Patrol. Orc Javi's trying to come on forward now. They should be able to get all of their ammunition spent. And even if you're not really coming into the most heavily armoured enemies, it's very worth it to just kill a few elves, I would say. Especially the Hiri units. Some Legionnaires coming on over. You see, this is the good thing, you know, when we start pulling these Erebor units away from the side. I start to shoot them from the right side there with my... Oh no, these are Allfather's archers. I think even though they've got a very heavy armour value, if you can get them shot from the right side or the back when that shield isn't coming into play, it can be worth it to hit them. But still, they're going to be shrugging off so much of that damage. This is really the issue with reinforcing this position. Because we do get a shot on your right side, all of your shielded units just can't really do anything. You know, they'll get minced just the same as any old shock infantrymen. So it is very beneficial for us. I don't think, yeah, we're still not coming over this end. 42,000 frames, as we say. It's very close to 42,000 frames. 42,000 frames for a Tol Falas battle is not tremendously long, I would say. We did have quite a long setup though, so that's probably the reason for it. Well, yeah, you know, so it's even sort of short. I mean, sorry, confused myself for a second. Orc archers, yeah, it's very strange to see, you know, Mordor. Well, I guess they don't really rely too much on their orc archers, so you do get most of your attacks occurring when the archers still have most of their ammo. But still, because we've not really been able to come in and support Ordo Malleus properly, this attack is fizzling out. He's inflicted a lot of kills for it though. 15 for 12 is not a bad position to be in this early into a battle, early into a siege battle. You know, you would expect to be a few percentage points down considering how much ammunition they've been spending on us. But we're quite happy with how many kills Ordo Malleus has been getting. I tried to come in with my Inquisitors, but I was just unsuccessful at really doing anything of worth here. I just couldn't really, it was just a bit too crowded still. And I wasn't really wanting to suffer too many casualties just trying to push on through wildly when I might end up just dying away. Nazgul here, taking some losses, but going toe-to-toe with the Tharbad Warhammers, who will... Oh, this is quite cool, actually. I like the Witch Doctor just going at it with... or he's not a Witch Doctor, sorry. But Plague Doctor, that's what I was thinking, going toe-to-toe with the Nazgul. That's quite a cool little matchup. But no, Cardolan's definitely got one of the most attractive sort of rosters to me. What's coming forward with us here? Looks like javelins. Oh no, a Dunaim shadow bows there. Yeah, no, they're definitely javelins from some source. But I don't know where exactly. Temple Guard, they're out of ammunition now, which is quite early for them to be out of ammo. But if they are, then they can come on forward and start being sword masters. Quite useful if they do get all of their ammunition used, because it is very high damage. You'd want it to be going up into elite units if you can, or maybe even these Ents, to be honest. They're accurate enough to be hitting the Ents, but I'm sure they were maybe targeted quite well. Ordo Malleus might be a relatively newer player. By relatively new, I mean he's been around for about you know, 4 or 5 months now, but he's not too old, but he has sort of learned the game. What we got? Ballista opening up. Is that the Isengard ballista? No doubt. Yeah, this is a great target. Very unlucky. We had one shot hit there, one shot hit there, and one shot hit there. We're going to get luckier with the second volley. Because one good hit right into the centre mass of these legionnaires. Come on, that's a miss. That's not a miss, sorry. That wasn't a bad hit, but still, we'd hope for something a bit better. Killer's going to notice anytime soon. But still, we don't really want to use up all of that ballista fire right off the bat. And I think All Fathers kind of just decided, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go for any more. We're coming across the bridges now, though. My Barrow Wights here, and All Fathers Spear Guard on either flank. So yeah, if they want to fire some shots into the Barrow Wights, let them. Goblin Trackers out of ammunition, ready to just come in and be massed behind the Barrow Wights. Orc fodder there running away. Got my Witch Realm Inquisitors ready to jump through any of the 3 bridges. The first that they really open up on. And as we're doing that, Razorblade is coming storming on forth with his Orc Fellers. Armor piercing crossbow fire coming into these Orc Fellers, but they don't care much about that. They're going to die either way. So coming slamming into the Ironfoot Spears. Good AP attack from the Orc Fellers, of course. But those Ironfoot Spears do not mess around. They're a very effective unit. Actually, Orc Fellers having victory there. Quite a clear victory. But yeah, so they'll do not too bad. If we get some Halberdiers mixed in amongst that. But yeah, we really are coming in force. It looks like he's pulling out to come in for another charge. Is that what he's trying to achieve? I can get it, but I disagree with it. You shouldn't really be trying to do that. Not when there are, you know, not unless you can kind of come in and out of their backs. When you're stuck in the melee like that, their morale is just not going to hold out. And the fight was going okay. He was getting some good kills for good economic kills, which is all we can really ask for in a siege attack. But yeah, Killer is going to be supporting it with some Erebor Legionnaires who they won't have too much trouble against all of these units that are arrayed against them right now. What do we have? Spear Guard there. Let's say Barrow Wights are going to take a long time crossing the bridge, so the Spear Guard just might be waiting for me to cross it. If I was MSQ, I know it takes a lot of your micro attention, but I'd be really tempted to come in for a charge against my Barrow Wights and in and out just a few times, because I don't really have a counter to that right now. I don't even have any archers nearby to shoot them if they decided to do that. So no, but well, he is probably just working to focus his attention over here, which he is doing quite well actually. Got these yeah, guys just slicing through what's left of the Mordor forces. Whenever I say Mordor, I always have to fight myself not to say Mordorin for some reason. And that is basically Ordo Malleus about done. I've got these Witch Realm pikes standing by, and I'd love to move them forward, but the enemy still have quite a lot of archers and such in place. These gatekeepers who would love to just rattle shots into my pikemen. So I'm just keeping them back, and more just holding them there in case they did want to run around the side and backstab us. But we do have a lot of crossbow fire, guards of Orthanc there too. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of spears of Orthanc with their crossbows. Seeing Dunlin being played a lot recently. Okay, good. So the Dundee commanders actually come forward for a charge. But luckily All Fathers there with his sort of higher damage Urukai infantry to help me out and make sure that we bloody up a few of these Dundee commanders. So I'm very grateful for that. Spear Guard making contact with the Minheriath Spears on the left bridge, and on the right bridge, same again, Minheriath Spears trying to hold back. A mixture of Urukai infantry and half-orc Spear Guard. I really do like the Minheriath units. Of course, the morale is the big issue with them, but I think you generally get a pretty decent unit for what you pay for. But up against the Urukai infantry, that's not going to be something they can really deal with too well. And when you do come across the bridges, if you do decide to go across the bridges, you really got to come across all three. I think trying to push across one bridge is just going to be hellish for you. But yet, Razorblade is flooding on in still. Killer is doing the right thing, just sort of holding us back bit by bit, but in order to get a lot of his ammunition spent. But actually, he doesn't have that much ammunition coming at us. And a lot of these elite units are here, and they do have a lot more elite units on this side than we've got elite units to attack them, which is a bit of a concern. Maybe we should have an elite unit moved on forward, but I was just a bit scared to move any of mine just because of the amount of crossbowmen that are still remaining here. What are these guys trying to shoot at? Are they getting up and over shots? How effective are those going to be, I wonder? Alright. It's actually not coming down too bad. I guess just because we're really blobbed up in this area that you're not as worried. And those shots are very high damage, so as long as we're getting hits from one or two of them, as long as the enemy are getting hits from one or two of them, it's good. I've got my goblin trackers placed over here, trying to just shoot into the axe guard and mainly the ironfoot pikes, but avoid friendly fire, of course. That is the Mordor general dropped there by a sturdy dwarven axe right to the back. But yeah, I did manage to get my pikes on forward. A few of them did make it into the fight. I think we suffered a bit of casualties there. My Witchrealm Inquisitors tried to come in for a charge, but now they're kind of just hanging around, so I do get them out of there. I've also got my Guardians of Carn Doom trying to back up this assault. Just really holding the units that are here in the fight, so that when we do push across these bridges, hopefully that these guys cannot escape by that time. Are those 2 units? No, 1 unit of Dunedin Captains, 1 unit of Tharbad Warhammers. What sort of ground have we taken here? Heavy Goblin Archers trying to come in to do some work. Barrow-wights not really taking much damage, as the Mercenary Guildsmen would actually hurt them quite badly. Dunedin Commanders over here mopping up our leftmost bridge assault. I've only really got Goblin Trackers and my Elite Blackguard here remaining. Anything else? No. Witchrealm Inquisitors in the back, of course. But that's it for me. As I say, when you do split up your forces, you really don't have as many units to play with. So, oh, yep, there we go. Only half of my force remains. I've still got quite a bit left over on Razorlade's side here, backing him up. Got my Witchrealm Pikes moving forward now. I will be running them soon, because I don't want them to take fire. I had these guys placed here, and I was just lucky. I was just so lucky that the dwarves didn't shoot them. Because I sent them across the bridge, and they weren't sat there for ages, but they were sat there for a good 30 seconds doing nothing before I was like, yep, don't want these guys to get shot. But the amount of elite units that the enemy have, and the amount of just how badly outclassed we are by general dwarves, I need to get my Hammer Guard up there. So I get my Blackwatch Legion up there too, trying to just make a break through the lines, but dwarves don't really go down too easy, especially when they've got Dragon Slayers of Ered Mithrin to come slamming through. So this push is not really going to go anywhere, even with the high 10 mass of the Blackwatch Legion. But if I can just embed those Blackguard in there, the Blackguard are now AP, they are now very powerful. I'm still trying to push through actually, jeepers, getting into the back lines. Just hopefully these guys don't break, but their good morale should hold them through it. Just trying to break through the pikes, really smash them to pieces. And get the Hammer Guard on the right flank to do the same. As long as I don't get shot here, this is really where you'd kind of want to get a crossbow unit down at the bottom here, where you could shoot me quite easily if they were just sort of placed there. Or maybe even an axe throw or something like that. But still, these elite units are coming on forward, and this is the Highborn and the Obsidian Guard, which, that is all of Keller's elite units remaining. Keller is coming on forward now with what's left of his dwarves, though, and he doesn't have anything left in reserve. So whatever he did send over to support here, he cannot send anything more. Barrow-wights actually suffering defeat here. All of our Uruk-hai allies are gone. So these Minahuriath forces are going to start mincing through us, especially the Wardens of Tir and Gorthad have now arrived. Heavy Goblin Archers trying to support. Trying to just keep that bridge locked up. Sindar lurking around. Chase them away with my Inquisitors. So now I just need to try and get those poor Inquisitors out of there. Ah, fantastic. Our Hammer Guard have managed. I don't even think that's my unit of Hammer Guard. I think that's Razorlade's Hammer Guard that have killed off the Erebor general. Now Erebor's morale is good, of course, being a dwarf. Yep, that's oh, let's see. It happened somewhere over here. Oh no, it might have been my Hammer Guard. We're just spread out. Yeah, I think it was, but we're just quite far spread out. Erebor's morale, being a dwarf, is pretty damn good, but they are not as good as Khazad-dûm's morale. So they can falter when they start to suffer losses of their general. And of course, we've still got our Witchers alive. I don't know where they are right now, but If we can start to scare these guys, they might bolt. But still, this is not the pathetic plebeian front line that we had up against them before. This is the nice armoured up Orcs and Uruks of Angmar, with the pikemen and the hammer guard, and even some blackguard there still alive as well. Blackwatch Legion there from Razorblade backing me up. So we are going to hurt these guys. We're not breaking through this line anytime soon, but it is making some progress. I've actually got my snag of stalkers. I don't actually send my fodder in. A lot of people do, but I don't really send my fodder in like first, just to smash uselessly against the front line. I kind of use... I don't really use fodder like fodder. I use fodder as just low quality troops, you know. So I'm not going to just throw away my low quality troops. But still, firepower coming in to my pikes and some of these Urukai forces. Okay, the Guards of Orthanc, yeah, as much as I talk crap about the Guards of Orthanc and my Blackguard there too, they're definitely worthy of a quick catapult strike. Ah, that was my general. Yeah. Ah, nice. I forgot about that. Ah, poor boys. And a lot of Blackguard fall in there, so that's a real shame. But as I say, we just don't have too much more to go, so I've got to just get my elite units stuck into the fight. I don't know why I didn't come across the bridge, in all honesty. I think it was a misclick. You know, because I think what you're meant to do, of course, is get them there and then order them just across the bridge. I think I got them here, but then I ordered them over here, and then I probably micromanaged this area for a while, thinking that they were just crossing the bridge when actually they ran all the way around. And then I was like, by the time I had realised, I was like, oh crap, they're already there now. So that was that's on me, I'm afraid. Obsidian Guard, very difficult for us to get through, very undwarven in their nature of defending with these two blades, or an axe and a blade, or two axes, many of them. But yes, they're very, very defensive, and not really lacking on their shield all that much. Angmar Marauders here too to back us up. The Witcher on Blackguard now from Razorblade. And those Witchers are still hanging back. I've got my Barrow Wights coming on forward now. So they will, well, yeah, they should be enough to deal with what's left, with all of those elites that we have. Thoroughbred Warhammers pulled back along with these Dunedain captains, but in their very bloodied nature, how long will they last? Will this make quite a nice shot? Something like that. I could have a look. Oh, we'll think about something like that. Looks nice. Anyway, back to focus. They've pulled back from the bridges for the most part. They're still trying to mince through the last of my Barrow Wights. Urukai archers from Allfather coming across ready, but they've had to sort of do this little bowl defense now. They don't, as I say, they don't have enough numbers to block up all these entrances, so they're having to just treat it as a field battle, and that's exactly what we want as an attacker. You really want to turn it into a field battle if you can. 64 for 50 though. We're down a little bit, which this is the later on stage of the battle. You know, we're getting over 50% of our losses. We don't really want to be that far behind. But what we've got left mostly is a lot of Allfather's forces, a lot of the Urukai and General Isengard men, who are a lot higher quality than Mordor or the goblins of the Misty Mountains and such. So even then, there's quite a few goblins, but Drake Broodlings as well, they're still alive. But it's not looking too bad. Percentage is getting a little bit dicey, but it still is within the realm of possibility. It certainly is. So got my Barrow Wights stabbing away, and in an extended fight here, the Barrow Wights giving them that melee upgrade. If you ever do use Barrow Wights and you don't give them the melee upgrade, I don't understand what you're trying to achieve in life. But yeah, they are. It does sort of make them some tiny bit effective. But now that we're coming forward, as I say, with a lot of elites and a lot of just numbers, you know, as I say, I'm come forward with my just swarms, a full unit of Angmar Marauders and a full unit of Snaga Stalkers. We're just able to get stuck in and swarm around them. It's quite hard to see from the minimap because it is actually such a small confrontation, but you can see that we're really curling around him there. And even, oh no, it is a few Hammerguard from Razorblade that's getting around here, which is great. Just smashing into what's left of the dwarves. and there's no more reinforcements coming for these dwarves. You know, the rest of the city, the rest of Tol Falas has been emptied. Yep, and Keller is actually falling back. These axe throwers are actually coming on forward. They look like they're going to run on up, try to throw some axes. I think, yeah, those nice sort of golden trim axes are the ones that they throw. I think that's the way that you can sort of tell. Crossbowmen too, he wants to try and get some... Oh, these crossbowmen are out of ammunition. But as with Erebor's main, well, ranged line, everything can sort of just immediately jump into melee and form a decent Ironfoot infantry line. So it really is MSQ who has taken most of the... And that's another thing, even though they've only really suffered 50%, most of those 50% of losses have been woodland elves and, you know, mountain dwarves. What they've really got left in numbers are the men of Cardolan, who, as much as I adore Cardolan, are not really the same quality. So we're still, as I say, we're still in this. There was actually a little fight there from the Elven Palace Guard, who wanted to come toe-to-toe with my Blackguard, and they killed quite a lot of my Blackguard. I've really only got about 4 of them left. But coming forward with my Pikemen too, we're getting some good shots onto these guys, and I think it was probably the crossbowmen arriving from Allfather that chased away the Palace Guard, and, as I say, saved my Blackguard. Very grateful for that, but the sacrifice of these forces, including the Palace Guard actually, is allowing our enemy to climb up this hilltop. Now, the enemy actually did something quite interesting here, where they split their forces, with half of them actually moving up here, and half of them coming on down to pull up that way. Ah, yeah, now that we've actually broken into that other area, I start to run riot with some of my Inquisitors who are still alive. So, trying to come in for some charges. I think the Inquisitors have got a decent charge. Can I pause it? No, you can't. Not when you're doing a replay. Tried to right-click on them to see if I could get up their information. But no, they'll do alright. Let's say the Gatekeepers there, don't want to get mixed up with them. But I managed to slip around the back. Actually, a few of them give a few slashes, but not really too much in the way of suffering there. But I'm just really looking for anything that's undefended, as we wrap around and dissolve what is left of these dwarves. Still some Obsidian Guard surviving, 21 of them. So it's the dwarves are definitely not out here, but they're no longer really stopping us. The Witchers are coming on forward, they're reloading. That's a risky shot there, Razorblade. I don't know. Let's see if he is going to be able to get something done with it. I don't know. Witchers are very tough to use, especially for, as I say, for like newer players. So I don't think that... No, it doesn't look like they're able to fire from there. Oh, wait. This guy looks like he's got a shot. Even one guy, you know. Sometimes I really prefer when Witchers really only... Nah. They're not really able to get anything done. So that's fair. You really would be wanting to sort of bring them, like, here. I'd say, yeah, just especially if you get them raised up on that little slope. But I don't really use Witchers myself. I use Javelins a lot, though. So, Witchers are basically just a little bit tougher than Javelins. Got my Barrow-wights coming on forward now. As I say, 48 of them. They'll do something. Urukai Archers. We still have a lot of our ranged power. As I say, Allfather's got quite a lot of his crossbows remaining. Still got these Urukai Archers. A little bit of, yeah, okay, he's getting a lot more friendly fire there than he's getting actual killing shots against the enemy trebuchet team. My Inquisitor's still lurking around, slamming into those axe throwers as Keller is trying to get some men, well, some of these dwarves back there. And I'm just like, no, try and just delete as much as I possibly can. So since I slammed into them, I stopped them from moving. They start trying to run away again, and I'm like, no, you don't, boy. You're coming back. So 64 of them, let's see. With a little 5-man cavalry force there. Not bad. You know, taking them down to... Well, actually, that's not bad at all. Taking them down to 56. And then he moves away again. I'd sort of try and come on back again. I'm trying to break them because they're shaking there, and I'm a bit scary. I'm the, the Witch Realm Inquisitors and all that. So, coming on, charging on in. And another quick go. Yeah, nice. So little by little, I'm just chomping away at that axe thrower unit. And hopefully that'll just be one less unit that can move in to reinforce that position. Snag a Stalkers there. Oh yeah, grab these pikes. They're running away from the fight, but still. What's the last unit standing here? Erebor Legionnaires, they're locked morale, but actually I don't see any Erebor Legionnaires here. It's just the Axe Guard. coming into my Barrow-wights, which is, yeah, definitely a decent unit to be using up against them. But yeah, no, so the Witchers, now that there's really not much in the way, the Witchers could come running around here and just shoot directly into them. Which, of course, if you ever do get a situation like that with your Witchers, that's the perfect thing. But, you'd still risk. There's always a risk with Witchers of getting some friendly fire. But that is just what you take. Oh, these Minotaur Roman Guard Gatekeepers even are actually in a really good position, because no matter what, we've got to come around there. We can't slip through that gap. We've got to come along this passageway, which means he can shoot us in the back as we come through there, and then he can sort of just be shooting us in the right side, so our shields aren't coming into play. Yeah, that's really good. Nice spot. I don't know if they've got the range for that, but I'm sure they do. He'll be able to check that as well. So, a nice front line of these guildsmen mixed in with the Minheriath sharpshooters. That's a lot of AP, a lot of maces cracking into you. But as I say, Allfather wants to make sure he uses up his arrows, so he's got his archers up there. Crossbowmen behind, certainly more use up against Cardolan. And I don't really have the manpower to do stuff by myself anymore, so I'm kind of just waiting to see what my allies do, and I'm just trying to work around that. Are these Lurt's hunting pack still with their ammunition? They do, yeah. So when they do remove, when they've used up their ammo, they're quite useful, but of course they are primarily there for the body piercing. Got my Barrow-wights coming on forward. I may not be able to do too much by myself, but even these 48 Barrow-wights will be able to help out quite a lot on the front line, just take damage for everybody else. Is this a break finally? A few Obsidian Guards remaining, but very stubborn boys. My Hammer Guard should crack through those. The Witchers in melee is a very risky, well, it's quite a risky thing to do, but when you outnumber them this much, they've actually got some really good melee stats. It's just that they're quite fragile. I do often sort of like to joke about the idea of like very fragile Nazgul is what the Witchers are, but it's not too fair to say that. Killing off, yeah, so I managed to break off that unit of Ironfoot Axe Throwers, so I was pretty happy with myself. I was down to 4 of my Inquisitors, still got the big man, big captain man himself, very scary looking boy, but I really like his pauldrons actually, yeah, they're nice. And I really just love the gauntlets that all of the Nazgul wear. Yeah, it's really quite spooky. And I think we will, but I thought about just trying to move up that hill, but nah. They've got spears like standing right in the way. It's just not really something I can do. Now the great thing, when people do hold both of these hilltops, they can do exactly what MSQ is here, where they can shoot us in the back as we're climbing up that hill. Wow, do they have range all the way over there? Or are they shooting these crossbowmen? Either way, it's great, because it really does make it worthwhile to try and hold both hilltops if you can get troops to it. And now they're getting shot from the front and the back, with the men on top of the hill trying to defend us. 2 Naz High here, only 2 Naz High, but backed up by the Guards of Orthanc. Thing is, the Guards of Orthanc really do rely on that armor value, so the AP is going to be hurting them, but they're spearmen at the end of the day, so I think their defensive values are not bad as well. But in that, their attack values are pretty bad, and coming up against mercenary guildsmen and Minheriath sharpshooters, that might be a bit too much. They're not really going to be doing as much damage as they normally would. As I say, I love the aesthetic of the Guards of Orthanc, but I don't really use them myself. Just not super worthwhile for me. But I don't know if they provide a morale buffer or not. But yeah, still, Jev is coming on over with a lot of these mountain Orcs. He's got a snag of stalkers there, but his black Orcs in the mountain are still around. Mountain Orc host, damn good boys there. Halberdiers and more Halberdiers. With the super weapons of the Snow Trolls. Well, the Cave Troll Drummers. Not really, hey man, they'll kill 8 guys, no doubt. Drake Broodlings there, and the crossbows too. So if we can use all of our crossbows, then that's perfect. But the enemy's positioning makes it very tough at this point to use ammunition. It's always amazing, as frightening as the Blacklock Engineers are in melee, it's always amazing to actually see them getting thrown into melee, because you know that they're out of ammo, and or at least you can presume they're out of ammo. So, yeah, you see, we're getting shots into this line, but... Yeah, okay, no, it is worthwhile. I was going to say we're getting more friendly fire than we aren't, but no, we're doing alright. I'm getting shot a bit, though. But still, my pikes, I'm just kind of wanting to send what I've got at the front line, just to make sure, you know, I'm doing something. But coming on around, I think these are my... Oh, these are my barrow whites. Ooh, that was Razor Lade's general there, sniped down from, once again, from this hilltop. And, yeah, Blackguard of Barad-dûr, they're just in a perfect position to get shot at. So, no, and I think it is very worthwhile to secure both peaks if you can. Jev trying to fire on up. Yeah, they're getting a decent arc. But... yeah, it's just tough. Oh god, my guys are looking the wrong way. Maybe we should just stop the melee assault altogether. Like right now I'm the only one really doing the melee assault, but yeah, maybe we should just fall back and just let our boys fire at them, which we will be doing now. But, so, because if they do charge downhill, then that's a bit of a state for them. I'm actually coming for a little charge there. I'm exposing myself to a lot of friendly fire though, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. But still, got a few kills, happy enough. It's just always fun, and when you're able to micromanage this last unit of cavalry, you can really enjoy yourself quite a bit, and especially if they do cause a bit of fear, like just inspiring these mercenary guildsmen to get the hell off the field. Hammer guard there. Oh, that looked like a dwarven general. That's a bit strange. Dwarven general's already died. Well, I don't know who it could have been. Either way, it was near these hammer guard of mine. Could have been oh dear, it could have been like Jev's general or something. Either way, shame. Still firing on away. Yeah, maybe we're just spending. I think, to be honest, our archers would be better used on this hill. Because if you can get your boys here, you can actually get some good shots on them. Maybe what we should have done was just gotten all of our spare archers, just get them over here, and so they can start using their ammunition on this hilltop. And of course, send over some infantry to watch out for them, just in case they do counter-charge down the hill. But, yeah. Yuri Peng, run out of ammunition already, MSQ. What is he going in for? Ah, Blackback Mountain Berserkers are taking these shots. Oh god, a few of them are getting knocked on their asses. What is it, it's firing? The Yuri Peng can't be doing that. Must be the Elders of the Elven King putting some shots their way. Ah, fantastic. Yeah, best thing about... I think it was... was it J-Monster or was it... Umad that was saying it. I think one of them mentioned in a video recently. It was a Silmarillion video. Where the best thing about having your units hide is not that your enemy's going to forget where they are. It's a case of just you can't target hiding units with archers, you know, and that is exactly the case. Drake Broodling's coming screaming on forward now. Yeah, Dunedain captains aren't going to hold them back too well. Ooh, pikes are actually hurting them real bad. But yeah, still just tearing through them. Nom nom nom. We need to be following this up though. Drake Broodlings are nice break. 18 Blacklock Engineers breaking there. But yeah, Drake Broodling's really tearing some stuff up, just stopping the Guardians from firing, chomping away at a lot of them. Just spinning back and forth to the Hearthguard, but all the while the Drake Broodlings taking damage. They were wavering for a moment. Good, just keep on charging around. Jev just getting some kills and pulling their attention away from the front line. But the thing is, as they're doing that, maybe it was slightly mistimed. I think our forces, you know, while these Drake Broodlings are tearing stuff up, our forces really should have been flooding on in, and our forces just weren't ready to do that. So I think that was a misstep on our part. What have we got? Jev is sending a lot of his troops over here now. Well, this is good because, well, hopefully they're out of range to be shot at over there, and also they're just preparing to make the assault on that peak. Because it's bad. Oh yeah, I'm down to 1 Inquisitor now. So yeah, I can still do some work. I can still do some stuff with him. Just drumming away as best they can, those cave trolls. Barrow Whites trying to make their way forward, trying to engage in the front, up against these Cardolan elites. The Hearthguards of Amon Sul, the grandfathers of the Cardolan force. Just very sturdy to break through the Dunedain captains as well. But if we can just get some crossbow fire onto this line, that's all that we really need to do. We need to get some crossbows where these Lurtz hunting pack are. So when they've used up their ammunition, that could be a good time. Heavy goblin archers there. We do have these Uruk-hai crossbowmen who do have ammo. Interesting. Drake broodlings, of course, come back from routing, as you would really hope they would. Losing out on your Drake broodlings would be horrendous. You really want them all to die fighting. What's this? I think I might have actually gotten a successful charge. Oh yeah, I charged the Palace Guard. Yeah, these are all dead Palace Guard. I was chuffed to bits with that. Yeah, I mean, I think I lost like one horseman, and I killed quite a lot of the Palace Guard. It was a good like rear charge that I managed to pull off. So I was really enjoyed that. Jev's got some goblin infantry coming on back. We'll probably position ourselves here for a minute and speed it on up to 2. As the Barrow-wights come on forward. A lot of crossbow fire, as says, just in Cardolan's nature. What are we at generally? 78 for 72, so we are still behind. But there's a lot of Cardolan elites left. But we do have the best of the best when it comes to the Misty Mountains forces. Which is, I know, is definitely not saying too much, but Misty's got some good guys. And the enemy is just about out of their ammo. And the balance of power in Medieval 2 does not take ammunition into account, unlike a lot of the later games where it does. Dunedain Rangers too, just screaming across our lines, and we're trying to basically just rely, and it's now us that is basically trying to rely on the terrain not to take damage. No longer is it just the defenders, that is. Chewing on forward with the Drake Broodlings, jumped into some hidden units of the Hiri Peng and the Greenwood Watchers, sorry. I don't think they managed to get a charge off. I think they were ordered to sort of move up the hill, and they sort of bumped into these guys, because they really did get sent packing. But still, yep, Jev is coming on forward with his crossbows. He needs to avoid these guys getting 1 broken and 2 countercharged. And this is very close range. Yeah, okay, no, Jev is heading on back, because the Hiri Peng are going to... If they touch him in melee, they might break him. Good stuff. The Broodlings are coming on up. They should be able to keep things safe and organised. But still, I think that's maybe being a bit too greedy. I think I would accept a shot from here. And I wouldn't come forward with any of my infantry. I would just get my boys set up to shoot at them from there. And that might be alright. Good Witcher fire there. Where is he? It's only 1 Witcher left, and he is bloodied. But it is a thrower, of course. Ah, damn. Snow Troll down. But a few gatekeepers killed for it. Yeah, I'd really be wanting to, because you're going to be firing for a while. So I'd probably just come for the Rangers. Just whittle the enemy down, really, rather than go for the best. But he's getting shot at by the Dunedain Rangers as well. That's another good reason to try and strike at them. And 1 more volley should do it. Oh. Burning. Once again, sort of burning through them. Sort of is a race against time for them to try and take him out. And that is him gone. With the stag of skirmishers of the Allfather broken and running as well. Our army is tiring. I have an army? Oh, I've still got Barrow-wights, don't I? Yeah. I've got Barrow-wights, and I've got 1 Inquisitor who is somewhere. Where is he? Oh, wait. Oh, did I miss that already? Where's my Inquisitor? Inquisitaros. I think he might be running up here. Yeah, he's over here. I think I missed the moment. I did a little time where I just sort of walked back and forth in front of Jev's army, just to sort of inspire, you know, the dread into them with my one boy. So just doing a bit of role playing in this late game. But no, I'm just sort of watching for my chance, because I'm not just going to charge them when they're wildly. I've got to make this work. But yeah, Jev's come forward with his heavy goblin infantry and halberds actually, trying to just match up against the Greenwood Watchers though, and that's just not going to turn out too well. Good javelin fire there as well into these halberdiers. Once again, just sort of getting torn to pieces. Poor little gobbles. But it is what they have to do. Jeff's got some guys breaking over here. Crossbowmen trying to find a shot. Blackback Mountain Berserkers trying to just get into the fight, really. But that's Gatekeepers are there, Tharbad Warhammers are there, still quite a few troops dotted around. Whereas I've got 170 Barrow Wights, certainly not bad, and most of them have just about all of their hit points. They were only really setting in toward the end of the fight. We've got the Bolg's Champions, which is a very useful unit if we can get the space for them to be used. But as I say, our real power is in our crossbows. With that Witcher dying, that Witcher definitely had a lot of ammunition left, so that was a shame. But it had to be used. It had to be put into a position where it was exposed, and I don't really know anywhere else that it could have been safer than where it was. Dunedain Captains, yep, getting slain by the Berserkers. Hearthguard of Amon Sul, they're not going to be able to stand up to it either. Oh, got some Troll Drummers in the back lines, that's good to see. Of course, yeah, Jev's got... I think his Troll Drummers could do with actually being over here, where where most of his infantry are, in all honesty. But that's all right. What are we at? 88 for 77, so we're a little bit down now. We're 11 down. Oh, I've still got some Barrow Wights. Of course, they're locked morale, so every single one of them has to die. Although we have seen that sometimes that is not the case. I'll go to 2 times speed as the Wardens hold... Tharbad Warhammers coming up forward. And Dunedain Rangers now too. I think, as I say, the Cardolan Dunedain Rangers are definitely my favourite looking Dunedain Rangers. Yeah, I would say so. Oh, interesting. Oh, that was the ballista. Where's the ballista? Where is it? Oh yeah, it was coming in from all the way over there. It was quite a shot. Just absolute general sniping there. It was yeah. Pretty good shot. Pretty damn good shot. But yeah, moving up my Barrow Wights now, just to start applying some pressure on the front line. I'll be able to wear down the elves, and I don't have to worry about being broken to do it. Wow! Just flying out of the map. Cool. Crashed into there. That's nice. But I really do love when you get artillery shots and they just go absolutely wild. That's as much as I rant and rave about the Dragon's Breath cannon. It is fun to watch it fire sometimes and just crash up against a wall and just like boing 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 and just like end up in space, and then you just see it falling back down. You're like, oh jeepers sake! It's just cool. It's weird to just think about how those physics work. You know, you'd really you just imagine like when they first made Medieval 2, just sort of like showing them that and being like, hey look what we made your game do. It's pretty cool. Gosh, everybody just gathering up there now. That's all they've really got, but the problem is we don't really have much in the way to flood on in and kill them now. So even though they really are down on numbers, it's two Dunedain captains and a few Dunedain Rangers over here trying to hold the final position. Hearthguard broken. Ballista moving up. Yeah, they've still got the ballista. They've still got ammo. Bolg's Champions. As my Barrow Wights are coming forward. I think now this is really where the bulk of the fight against the Mountain Uruk host aren't going to go down easy. They are not the Moria goblins that came before them. And the Black Urks of the mountain too, they're not going to be dislodged too easy either. But Woodland Realm Patrol. But still, I'm just hoping to get my Barrow Wights stuck on in there. Where's my Inquisitor? I do not know. Oh, there he is. Oh yeah, he's chasing off some Hearthguard. I don't want them to come back. I swear I'm not just stacking my kill count. I'm doing everything that is necessary to ensure that the enemy's elites do not return and backstab us. But yeah, Woodland Realm Patrol, tough to break through. Bolg's Champions just trying to use their mass to really get through, but it's going to be difficult. If they could, even just one good charge could be enough. I think so we can see they've gone with the red limit for the gatekeepers, which I think when you're on the defense as Cardolan is a good idea. You've got to be careful about going into the red limit, but there are a few units that I will always kind of expect people to go into the red limit for. And as I say, that's gatekeepers, It's Hereditary Pikes, you know, for Rudour. It's General Rangers. I think that was me admitting defeat, actually. Is it? No, my Barrowwits are still in this. No, that was Jev admitting defeat. I think I'm going to be following shortly after. I don't usually admit defeat, but I kind of just thought because my Barrowites are gonna take quite a while to die, I was like, yeah, again, we'll just admit. Where's my boy? Is he still down here? Where? No, he's not. He's up here somewhere. I think I've got my. Yeah, Inquisitor. He's still trying to do his best, just coming out against the Warhammers. I think every charge I am killing one of them. Let's see this. Come on. He's wavering. Don't you dare waver in front of these mortal men. 2 kills. 3. 4. Nah. Well, like, dude, three Warhammer kills there. I was chuffed to bits with that. Then I was like, oh, I'm out of support. Run away. Still trying to win, but no, I think I admit defeat in a moment. But yeah, yeah, that's me out. Oh, Dundee Captains actually catch him. But yeah, I barrel through the Dundee Captains too. I think I killed some of them. I was really impressed with the Inquisitors. I'm definitely gonna be sort of taking some of them again when it comes to sieges. I think depends what siege battle, of course, you know. But I think Tol Falas, as you can see, you know, I got some good use out of them. A lot of open space to sort of run away from people and then run back in. That was me admitting defeat. Yeah, so he came in for that one last attack and he was like, "Yep, okay, we're done. We've done our part. We're out of here." So he's disappearing into the darkness. But yeah, yeah. So that's what I mean about red limits. You know, you just generally got to be careful with it. But I understand why, and you know, people do. And there's some units that I would really recommend it for. All in all, pretty damn close. You know, 81%. We were pretty happy with that for the most part. We'll go through my kills first, and then I'll talk about it all in general. Hammerguard there, yeah, happy enough with that. Sorry, this is Razorblade. I'll go through Razorblades first. Yeah, Hammerguard generally, yeah, pretty good stuff. Witchers, we saw, unfortunately, the Witchers just didn't get to use up much of their ammo. I probably should have just said to Razorblade, hey mate, you know, because he was quite new. Like, we knew he was quite new. I probably should have just said to him, don't bring the Witchers. But at the same time, people need to learn, you know. So so hopefully he knows that they are quite tricky to use, and he'll be careful. Gardens of Cardolan, yeah. Marauders, never really going to get a great kill count from Marauders up against Dwarves. Fellers, I think the Fellers could have done better, but there was a few missteps just with pulling them away and putting them back in. Halberds, yeah, not so bad really. Trolls of Gundabad, yeah, I didn't bring any trolls myself. I'm not really too bothered with trolls anymore, to be honest. I think they have been used very well on defense, like just similar to how the Ents were used today. And I think I would only really bring them on defense nowadays. The Blackguard there, nice stuff, 103, and they got shot up a bit too, so that was nice. Blackwatch Legion, yep, too bad about that, because the AP you'd really hope they would do better up against Dwarves. Goblin Trackers, yeah, they're just there to take damage. Maybe too many archers. Maybe I should have, as I say, like, I'm not going to tell somebody exactly what to take in their army, but maybe I should have warned them, like, hey, don't take too many archers. Just, you know, but like, not that extra just few hundred from not taking the snag of archers would have done much. I'm trying to fight through this before I sneeze. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but we'll see how it goes. And there was some more orc fellers down at the bottom there too, who, as I say, could have maybe done a bit better. Halberds, yeah, that's a shame too. Myself there, talked about, the Blackguard fought a lot of elite units. They fought up against the Palace Guard, so I'm okay with that. And they lost so many men to that trebuchet strike. But that was just my fault for having them come around the Isle of Elena. That's really nice. This is Tol Falas, of course, but yeah. Maybe, is that what the Isle of Elena is called? I don't know. Yeah, anyway, Blackguard Bardu, sorry, no, I had them come around the wrong way. Sorry, brain just went to funny places. So that was a shame. Hammerguard there, very nice, chuffed a bit of Hammerguard. Blackwatch Legion, oh right, my Blackwatch Legion didn't actually kill that many either, but they were fighting up against a lot of elite units, so, and that was the same for his Blackwatch Legion, so I think that was maybe the case. Barrowites, I'd love to have gotten, I think I would have gotten more kills. Like, this was the unit that yeah, so they were all taken prisoner, so that was me admitting defeat with them. They would have definitely killed another 50, I would say, if I let them. So that would have been nice, but nah, it's fair. Stalkers there, 4 for one, 20 for the other. 20 is quite nice, really. 4, oh dear, whoops. But you know, it is what it is. They're like 50. They're my like almost free unit. They used to be free, but they're 50 now, which I think is good. I like the way that they've changed that. Scourge Raiders. Oh god. That was a shame. I didn't even see what happened to my poor Scourge Raiders, but I guess they just got shot up really badly. That's a rip. They're really important. Gardens of Carnton. Wow, 7. Ouch. And 34. That's not good either. But yeah, fight up against elves. What are you going to do, I guess? Oh god. My poor Marauders. 8. Pikes. Good. Oh, 124. Good stuff. 40. Yeah, I'm happy enough with these kills for my gobos. 42 is decent. And the Inquisitors there, 161. So I was, yeah, like, that was not too bad. So overall, I think that we had too much ranged power as a group. Maybe what we should have done is just said, like, hey, look, me and Razorblade will just not bring any archers, full stop, but we'll just need a little bit of support. So Jev could have maybe sent us a crossbow unit or some snagga skirmishers even. But as I say, Razorblade and I would have just had, you know, more melee. There was a lack of communication overall. Like, we did not expect Order Malleus to go for the charge. I think the charge went quite well for Order Malleus. I definitely do think it went well, but it was unexpected, and you know, we definitely didn't react to it as quite well as we should have. We should have seen how well it was going, and then jumped across the bridges right away. That would have definitely been quite a cool thing, I think. And maybe we were a bit too patient with Razorblade. I think we maybe should have been like, yep, get in there now, because Razorblade was wanting to get stuck in, but like we were just like, nope, don't go in. But yeah, but we maybe should have sent him in a bit earlier. Jev there. Definitely, well, you know, so he admitted defeat there, so he could have gotten a good few more kills, but just a lot of reliance on crossbows, a lot of goblin archers too, which I think maybe, well, that was just the issue all around, just we had too many archers, so that was just a shame, and he didn't really get to use his crossbows or use his archers until the enemy had actually fallen back to those hilltops, which makes it very difficult to use your ammunition against them. So I think that was generally why. Ordo Malleus there, as I said, you know, like, it went really well. I really loved it. You know, he just read the situation. He was like, hey, we're gaining ground. Let's keep on funneling stuff in. But we didn't really have his back as well as we should have. All in all, though, pretty good stuff. Allfather there, yeah. True, again, he had a lot of power in his crossbows. I think he was able to use his crossbows a bit better than Jev was able to get in some positions, but still, I don't think there was, but still, yeah, so he had like 2 crossbow units, but then he had like 2 Urukai archers, so again, I think we had too many archers overall. I don't know, but yeah, MSQ there, yeah, absolutely, like, top tier stuff with just blasting us from the back. It was from a long time ago, this battle, but like, if you remember how many kills your Hiri Peng that were up next to Treb shooting us in the back, like, if you remember how many kills they got, that might be quite nice to know. Sharkan there, yeah, good sort of support there, and falling back and really sort of holding this final position quite effectively with your elites. And it was very interesting to see Cardolan without their elites on the front line. Like, as I say, when I play Cardolan, I've yet to do a... Oh, no, I've done some Cardolan on the defense. When I do Cardolan on the defense, I have my, like, Dunedain captains, like, right there with them. You know, because I feel I need to, you know. Whereas he kind of showed that Cardolan doesn't absolutely have to have them there. And they're just good saving your ammunition for when you need it. And then, yeah, Keller just bouncing us back quite effectively. And supporting your allies, too. When you are in Death Valley... That's kind of the thing. You generally have often got like a 1v1 situation. That's why I like to send troops over there, so it's not a 1v1, it's a 1v1.5. But still, Death Valley, you often kind of underestimate it because you think like, oh, they're not going to be able to get through here. But Keller did put a lot of effort into holding us back because we did come forward hard, and he was still able to send some troops over to support his allies. So that was some great stuff. Anyway, thank you guys very much. This has been quite a long one, as Tol Falas always sort of is. But yeah, even for, it's quite a short Tol Falas. But yeah, thanks guys.